This is Out Loud and Laughing.
What is up, chosen fam? Welcome back to another episode of Out Loud and Laughing. Today, we are joined by someone who has mastered the art of being unapologetically himself across the world. He is an actor, a comedian, and a viral sensation who isn't afraid to dive into the spicy side of gay culture with a wink and a perfectly timed punchline. He's teaching us all how to live out loud, stay sex positive, and most importantly, keep laughing through the chaos. Please welcome to the pod the incredible Matt Gordon.
Can I put that on my
Hello.
resume? That's incredible. That's
Copy
amazing. I need that.
We will
copy
send it to
paste.
you. Yeah.
Please, please.
Matt, we are so happy you're here. We've been deep diving into your content, and it's really wild how you've managed to turn the everyday absurdities of being a gay man into literally viral gold. So, whether you're talking about the trials of dating or just living your best life, you have a way of making Chosen Fam feel like we're right there in the room with you. So, for our listeners who might be new to your world, how would you describe your vibe as a creator?
My vibe as a creator. I don't take anything seriously except my work ethic. Uh, yeah, I just think that life is just so insane, and everyone is so afraid of accepting that they are weird. I actually have a theory that everyone is discovering that they're autistic now. I think that's just the default human being. I think we're all weird and nobody wants to admit it. We all of having sex, and yet everyone is constantly being shamed for it, and I don't understand why. It's one of the most beautiful things that you can do, especially in the gay community. I know straight people aren't having sex like we are. Like, gay sex is incredible. So why are we so
Amen.
ashamed about? Why are we so ashamed about it? Yeah, my vibe, I guess. I am the goofy side character in your favorite sitcom. That's my vibe. I'm not the main character. I'm the one who wins Best Supporting Actor.
Okay, so 'cause when you said side character, I'm like, side.
No, I'm anything but a side. When I see
Clarification.
when I see side on Grinder, I'm like, oh God, no, I'm so sorry. No.
It's not anything. It's not anything but it's everything but, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Everything, everything but side. No offense to side people. Side people, you're an integral part of our community.
Thank
Correct. You
you.
are you are a
Yes.
letter that will join our acronym very soon, I'm
It's just
sure.
not for me.
Yeah. I'd rather read a book. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm gonna interchange your name because you gave us permission, Matthew.
that's right.
What's actually interesting about your platform, though, like John mentioned and you mentioned, is how sex positive and open you are. And I think it's interesting in a world that sometimes wants us to play it safe. You kind of lean into the comedy of intimacy, right? Have you ever had a moment where the video kind of felt too real, or you felt like it maybe had been too TMI?
Um, no. I mean, when it comes to like my quote unquote racy content, my favorite sitcom of all time is The Golden Girls, and those writers could deliver the raciest, raunchiest joke without ever mentioning what they're talking about. Um, I don't know if I have quite that gift, but I try to incorporate that into my sketches and stuff. Of course, I like to be a little more explicit because that catches the eye. But really, the only time that I've thought I went too far was when I was not talking about sex. When I'm talking about my life, like I'll sometimes I'll take a trip down memory lane and I'll look at videos and I'm like, God, I was so depressed in that video. I can see it in my eyes. I'm so clearly sad, and it's just a little glimpse of what I was going through, and I think that's kind of where I maybe push the line for myself anyway.
Isn't it so funny when we set up that mirror for ourselves or sort of that, watching ourselves back and that we are able to see the truth of what is actually happening? I've noticed the same thing too. You could really see when you're authentically enjoying what you're doing or you're coming forward authentically. I think it's really interesting you bring that up.
Well, one thing that I've noticed when when I'm doing a sketch or a skit or whatever that I really want to do, you can see it in my eyes. Like I'm excited to do it. I look forward to it. And then there are things like when like if I'm angry, or if like with all this stuff that's going on with ICE, there's a sadness behind my eyes, and like you can tell it's dimmed. I'm not talking about what I want to talk about.
I think that makes sense. I mean, before we deep dive a little further, like, where are you from originally?
I'm from Augusta, Georgia. I was born and raised in Augusta, Georgia. So I'm a Southern
Okay.
boy. Yeah, first 20 years of my life.
I mean, John and I technically are as well. We're from South Florida.
If it
Yeah,
counts.
y'all are different. The
We are
like
different.
panhandle people are different people. They're different
Hey,
people.
you're the one who said we're all weird, so let us in.
Well, y'all take it to another level.
Fair enough. No, no doubt,
Anyone
no
from
doubt.
Florida takes it to another level. I agree.
Yes. I mean, I went to college in Florida, and most of my family is from Florida, so I've got it in
Oh,
my
nice.
blood.
Where did you go to college?
I went to a place called New World School of the Arts.
Oh, very cool. What did you study there?
No, it
Were
wasn't
you
cool.
Oh, no? Why not?
No, it's well, when I went, it was just I'm so sorry if you're going to New World School of the Arts and you're listening to this. It was up its own ass. I'm so sorry. It's like a
Mm.
really hoity-toity conservatory, and
Mhm.
they were so hoity-toity. I felt like I wasn't learning anything, and that's really why I left. I was like, I'm the same amount of talent that I was when I got here. So most of what I learned professionally, I learned on the job.
Isn't that always the case?
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you've made a lot of moves with work. Speaking of work, at one point you did the London leap, I like to call it, which is a massive leap from the States, and you sort of do global work anyway. So, what is the light bulb moment like that makes you realize that there's time for a change of scenery, or is like the gay influencer life different than what it seems through the lens?
Well, I don't consider myself an influencer at all.
Yeah.
No, not at all. I don't sell anything. If I sell something, I have done things where I've been approached by advertisers.
Mhm.
Um, and if it's a product that I hate, you can see it. Like I said before, you can see it written all over my face. Like I do not want to be making this content, but they're paying me.
Yeah.
I have now made a hard and fast rule. Um, I'm only hawking things that I actually like. I've actually contacted Pure for Men because God, what a great product! I love that product. But yeah, I consider the reason why I started this whole social media thing is as a sort of digital resume that could open doors for me, and they have. So like, people will people like you, they'll contact me and they'll offer me opportunities based on my internet following. But if you could see the way I live, and if you could look at my checking account right now, I am not a successful influencer at all. I'm doing it for the love of the game. Yeah, I'm really only doing it to benefit my singing, acting, and dancing career.
That's really that's really vulnerable for you to share. I mean, Brian and I know exactly the seat you're in. We do this, as a way to bring community together and to share stories and make people feel seen and not so alone. So thank you for coming on with us today.
And also
Um,
$0.
but like most applicably, there is $0 coming in from this. We do this
Yeah,
for the joy, really.
yeah. But you know what? Being poor, oh my god, it has kept me so thin.
Right?
Um,
It's the best diet ever.
I mean, just watch, if you can't afford food, watch the pounds melt away.
I
Yeah,
mean, listen, it's the cheapest Ozempic you can get.
Truly, truly. I've
I
never
love
been
that.
thinner.
But it's interesting that you talk about becoming not an influencer, but someone who's popular online,
Yeah.
to kind of better your career. And it's interesting because I do see many actors who almost do their own skits and stuff, and it seems to becoming more and more popular, which is interesting.
Mm.
So, how when you talk about doors being open, can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, so, when I moved to New York, I moved right in the middle of the pandemic, and sorry, my roommate's coming home if you hear some noise.
Awesome.
Um, uh, so I moved to New York with the express goal of improving my singing, acting, and dancing, and my social media presence because
Mm.
the writing was on the wall. Like, if you don't have a social media presence, you're not getting anywhere in this industry. Um, and then I thought, here's what I'll do to improve my acting. I'll write skits because I have all these ideas in my head, and that will give me acting on camera experience. And then I'll practice songs and I'll upload those, and so all of my practice would just be my content. Um, and then my goal was 10,000 followers. I was like, I just want to get 10,000 followers so I can put it on my resume. And then by pure accident, it blew up. And really, what it taught me was, my whole life I've doubted myself, and not to sound all kumbaya, but like I just thought that I wasn't good enough. And I was okay with that. But when I started uploading my stuff, especially my acting, because no one gives a shit about if you can sing, on TikTok, but the skits and stuff, they blew up. It was crazy, and I thought I might have something. I might be special. Like I might have a voice that people enjoy. And I like doing it. I love it. When I have the free time, it's the best thing. In fact, I just for this audition that I just recorded, I was doing all these editing things because I wanted to show them how I could dance. Um, but yeah, I so that was my goal. I forgot what your question was. I'm sorry. I have attention deficit disorder.
No, I think it's just interesting how people are finding their celebrity a little bit
Oh
by starting
yeah,
online, right?
but I don't know if you've been really really closely following me. It has in some cases has hindered um, my my work, because I'm so outspoken. For the record, I'm not wrong. I don't believe that my opinions, political, social, sexual, are incorrect. The problem is, um, we're living in an environment where people's scruples are completely off the wall. And everyone is people who are casting things are looking for the safest bet possible. They don't want to offend anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the best artists are offensive.
It's
They
so
are.
true.
You
It's
know what I
so
mean?
true.
Otherwise, like
Mhm.
there's this great episode of SpongeBob actually where um the Krusty Krab gets bought by like a hedge fund, or like what do you call it, like venture capital or whatever,
Yeah. Mm.
and all of their burgers become like this gray sludge. And if you keep making, I mean, look at the movies that are being made right now. They're palatable, but they're just gray sludge.
Yeah, they're
You know what I
churn
mean?
turns. Yeah.
Exactly. So I feel like if you want the most talented, the most driven, the ones who are going to put in the work, I'm sorry, those people are crazy. You
Yeah.
can't get otherwise you're going to get complete mediocrity. You know what I mean? I've
Sure.
never I've never seen a a person who's MAGA who's an incredible singer. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it's because of the delusion and the inability to sort of accept the realities of life, I
Yeah,
guess.
but to be fair, like,
Yeah.
if you wanna talk about MAGA singers, like, Kid Rock guys, like, he's really good.
I mean, vocalists of our generation, really. I mean,
Right.
what and you know what? Actually,
That's
okay,
amazing.
to throw a little shade, I've noticed that when an artist really leans into being MAGA, so for example, Carrie Underwood can no longer
Mm,
sing.
Yeah.
She is losing her instrument. And
Yeah.
I honestly, and I'm again, not to be all kumbaya, I think it is because of the hate festering in her heart.
yes. The
You know what
Lord's
I
doing the
mean?
good work.
Well,
Yes.
the body keeps the score. If we're gonna go kumbaya, this is my favorite subject, but, like, you're right, stress kills, holding that stuff in, hate holding in your body is
Yeah.
not great for the body, like, it's
Yeah.
gonna hurt your instruments, whether they are your feet to dance or your
Yeah.
vocal cords to sing, for sure, I completely
But
like that.
I also never really liked Carrie Underwood, so I
no, me
feel
neither.
seen now.
Yeah. But yeah, my to wrap what I was saying up, it has hindered. So I actually got fired for opinions, and I got kicked out of Japan, kind of. So
Yeah,
that
that was
was
my question
rough.
too, because when I was following your content, I thought you had moved to Japan, which you did in theory.
Yeah,
You were
I
there
did.
for work. Um, Work aside, I'm sure it was fabulous. What was it like being a gay man in Japan?
Yeah, so yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah?
Incredible. In fact, I like some when I got fired, it was a minuscule amount of people that were the cause of it. Unfortunately, a minuscule amount of percentage of people in Japan is a lot of people.
Yes.
But people, I had friends. I've never made more friends than I have in Japan. It was the easiest place to make friends, and people were like, "I don't want like you must hate Japan." how I'm so sorry this is happening for you." And I said, "Absolutely not. No way." I was welcomed with open arms. People who don't even speak my language
Mm.
would just start talking to me, would and we would and they desperately try to open up to me. Um, it it's an incredible country with amazing, amazing people, and I can't wait to go back. And
Wait.
being gay, like, the gay scene,
Yes.
they're definitely conservative,
Okay.
but not in a way that we are. Um,
Are they all
it's more
sides?
um, there is a well, I actually was really lucky because I was like a big dick magnet.
Mhm.
Um, the little penis, stereotype, that is not true. That is not true. Trust me, gentlemen.
This is the content we're here for.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know all the best places, and trust me, the gay men in Japan are just as horny, if not more so, than anyone in America.
And are people doing the apps there? Like, what's the how are you finding your sides?
So so Grinder is alive and well. Um, typically, if you speak Japanese and you are looking for someone who's Japanese, you'll use they have their own app called Nine Monster. Uh,
Yeah. 9
yeah, so
mon.
it's that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So,
Go, John.
Thank
yeah, I
you.
know. Wow, he knows the lingo.
Well,
But yeah, so that's typically more for I would say it's probably 90 to 99% Japanese with the occasional gaijin in there.
do you guys there was, like, the men bill too. Menbilly? Is that right?
I didn't see that one. I stuck
Yeah.
to Grinder because my Japanese, especially writing it, is rough.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I
Mm.
don't know how to
Yeah.
write non-Western characters.
I can get by like at maybe like a level 1, maybe a level 2, maybe a level 2.
Maybe a level
But
2.
but writing I can't.
Interesting. So, is there like a in other big cities, they usually like, uh, sequester the gays to one part of town. Is there like a gay part of town of Japan?
Daikichi, that's my not Daikichi,
Ichi?
no,
Oh,
sorry, Daikichi was, one of the bathhouses I went to. God, what was it called? Doyama-cho, I think is what it's called? That's my
okay.
place, that is my place.
Y'all heard
So
it here.
I lived in Osaka, um,
Mhm.
and Osaka is very it's kind of considered like imagine the American South. They have their own sort of Southern accent. Actually,
Interesting.
when I speak Japanese because, all of my friends are from Osaka, when I talk to other Japanese people, they always make fun of me because I have an Osaka accent.
Mm.
Um, and everyone there is sort of like so whereas stoicism and, being chic is like a very strong form of currency in Tokyo and Kyoto, um, being funny is an essential part of being an Osakan. You have to have a sense of humor. And that translates to the gay scene. There's a lot of drag queens. Everyone has sort of like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge attitude when you go out. And there is like sort of a maybe 3 block area, if that, of gay bars, and spas, things like that. So, and I love it. I highly recommend it. If you're going to Osaka, it's a great gay scene.
I think and we know we joked about being broke and poor at the front of this, but, like, you have gotten rich in experience, right? Like, your what you have done in
Yeah.
your career has allowed you to, like, see, do, touch, feel, many things, and so, like, that has value, right?
Absolutely, and you know what? A lot of it has to do with my social media. Like, one of the reasons why I got to work in Japan for a year. Sorry, side note. The way that contracts work, like if I say I'm moving to Japan, that is on a contract basis. So, like, I had a lot of MAGA people like, "Haha, you got deported," and I was like, You can't get
I'm from
deported if you're."
Georgia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's not how it worked. Like, I can go back to I can even work in Japan. I literally
Yeah.
just got fired. Anyway, so because of my social media, someone reached out to me and they were like, "Hey, have you ever considered working for Universal Studios Japan?" And I said, "It's funny you mentioned that because yes." And then I got the gig. You know, obviously I had to audition, had to prove myself, but it was definitely a foot in the door that others didn't have.
It was funny that you brought that up because I was actually just gonna ask you, like, what like, did you think about, like, when you got let go from you were on the cruise ships at that point where you got let go from, or were you just on a different contract at that point?
So I was doing I was in a stage production of Resident Evil.
Oh, cool.
It was amazing. First of all, I'm obsessed with Resident Evil. I know everything about
Yeah, it's a
Resident
great
Evil.
game. Mhm.
I played Leon, which was
Wow.
a dream role. And I literally just I posted a video where I was like, "Fuck Charlie Kirk. I'm so glad he's dead. I hate him." And people lost their minds.
Oops.
People lost their minds. All the people saying that Renee Good deserved it, they're completely fine. But Charlie Kirk was too
Well
Correct.
far. It's too
well,
far.
and these were also the same people who thought you got deported and probably couldn't even find Japan on a map, but we
100%.
digress.
100%. But anyway,
But, yeah, no, I was gonna ask if, like, because you talked about the Universal thing, because 'cause I'm a little bit of a Disney adult, it's a little bit of a
mm,
joke here.
It's not a
Did you
joke.
did you, like, look at that outlet as well? Because Disney Japan, it looks awesome.
yeah, so I have auditioned for them a few times. I have heard from my friends that it's probably wouldn't be my dream job because they're so unbelievably strict.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, and one of the things that I loved about working at Universal Studios, by the way, just for the record, I don't have any ill feelings towards Universal Studios. In fact, when they fired me, and I don't want to go on record here or like hurt anyone's reputation, but when they fired me, they were like, "We do not want to do this. We
Mhm.
do not want
Mhm.
to. It is completely out of our power. We don't want to do this." They even said, "Give it a few years and audition again." It for if anyone's listening, Universal Studios Japan is an incredible place to work. It is an amazing workplace.
I did
And one of
entertainment at Universal Studios Orlando, and I can attest it's a great
yeah,
place to work. Sorry to interrupt, go
um,
ahead.
no, not at all. But one of the things I liked about it, and one of their tenets, is that um, they whereas Disney is about strict. This is our character. These are our properties, our intellectual properties. You can only do X, Y, Z. Universal Studios curates an aura of chaos, and that fits right in my wheelhouse. For example, like if I played a prince or whatever in Disney, um, that would be my role only. I am only a prince. But at Universal Studios, I was considered a pop star. Like I was playing a role, but everyone knew, oh, that's Matt. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's Matt
Mhm.
playing a role. And I had my fans come and they would follow me on Instagram and things like that.
So fun.
Matt, I we can honestly listen to you talk and laugh all day, but we do have a tradition here. We like to strip away from the social media filters for a second and get real with our this and that game.
Yeah, let's do
So
it.
it's time to enter the hot seat. We call this or that the Gordon Get Down edition.
Gordon, get down. I'm stealing that.
Don't think, just react, and feel free to
That's a
get as
problem. Okay.
chosen fam as you want. We are unfiltered here. John can kick it off.
Okay.
Alright, so we heard about some of the Japanese apps, but are you like a scruff or no scruff kinda guy?
No scruff, only because I don't feel like I'm the target demographic. I'm 135 pounds and I'm pretty hairless except down there.
Yeah.
So yeah, as much as
Wait,
I love the guys on scruff,
so then do you like scruff on men, or do you prefer, a less
100%. Oh, if you look
Oh,
at my following, the men that I'm following on Instagram, you'll get a really good idea about the guys that I like. I
I will
like
be
them
doing
big.
that right after this.
I like them thick. I like them. I don't want to see any abs. I want hair, and a beard is a must.
Mm, I like that.
Okay. Do you prefer red wine or espresso martini?
Red wine. I love red wine.
Any specific favorites, either the
A
varietal or
Chianti.
location?
Oh, a
Oh,
Chianti.
Chianti, very
Actually, I would buy
regional.
this cheap bottle of Chianti at
Yes.
7-Eleven in Japan.
Like, I don't know why you're like, when you said Chianti, I'm like, "Ooh, macaroni grill." So
With some
fancy.
fava beans.
Because you're
Yes,
trash, Brian, that's why
I
you're
am
trash.
trash.
Oh, Matt, are you an early bird or a night owl?
Night owl. Ugh. If I could stay up until 5 in the morning, I would.
Hmm, that's what I'm waking up.
Yeah.
No, I
It's
I
really
hate that. I
sad.
hate waking up early.
Okay, do you prefer the lights on or the lights off?
Lights on, I wanna see what's going
Mm.
on. I wanna see where everything's going in and out. It's also great, for when you're recording.
Fair, fair.
Okay, are you doing a shower or a bath?
Oh, I love a bath, but, almost always a shower. Yeah, just 'cause I'm always late. But actually, sorry, in Japan, I had a huge bathroom, like an actual room for a bath.
Yeah.
Oh, and the bottle of Chianti, drinking in the fucking
See?
bath. Oh
It's a
my
vibe.
god. Oh, it's such a vibe, such a vibe.
Okay, so put your sports hat on for a second. Are you pitching in the game or catching in the game?
I have been, I prefer to catch.
Yes.
Um, however, when the mood strikes me, I'm one of the best pitchers in the world.
See?
Oh,
He's a
yeah.
And
verse sports guy.
I have men and video proof of that.
See?
Get your gloves ready, boys. Okay, so we've talked. I don't know why my questions keep coming to the apps, but maybe I'm really curious about this, Matt, with you.
Yeah.
Are you a dating app kind of guy, or would you prefer to meet somebody in the wild?
Uh, dating definitely. Dating app, sorry. I think meeting someone in the wild, it's hit or miss, and I
Hmm.
feel like I'm so direct. I'm like, "Look, are we doing this or not?" Because I ain't here to, I don't wanna date you, I don't wanna take you on a date, I don't wanna buy you anything. Are we having sex or
Hmm.
not?
Yeah,
So, I
I love it.
prefer the apps.
I agree. When you're on the apps, are you for chest or butt?
I'm sorry?
What's your type? Chest or butt? What do you prefer the
Chest.
most? Chest.
A nice chest. I like
That's what I
that.
like to look at
You don't care about the
during.
butt so much. During. Okay.
The butt is nice, a nice butt is great, but, I'm the one with the nice butt, so I don't have to worry about that.
I like that. I like a good chest too. I really do.
Yeah,
Um, when you're going on vacation, and this is not for work, so you're traveling, would you
okay.
prefer to go alone, or would you rather go with a group?
I love traveling
Mm,
alone. I absolutely love it. I hate even, like, especially loved ones. I would much
Yeah.
prefer to be alone. I fantasize about traveling alone all the time, which is why I do it for a living.
Mm, fair.
we should come up with a book called, instead of Eat, Pray, Love, like Eat, Gay, Love, and then, like, it's all about us just traveling by ourselves. I love it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But
Do you
is it a command? You're gonna eat gay love?
Hey, it's just a this or that moment, so you can do it. It could be whatever we
Right,
want it to be. I love
right,
that about
right.
this.
Okay, you're in New York City right now. Do you prefer the comedy club or the Broadway show?
Broadway show. I used to work at a comedy club,
Oh,
um, and that I used to wanna be a comedian. I got the job because I was like, I wanna be a stand-up comedian. Working with comedians, um, absolutely not. I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Side note, I had, one of my first weeks I was working there, I was talking to this comedian, and he was so fucking funny, and I was like, "I think you are so cool. I wanna do what you're doing." And he was like, "You're a singer, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "How long have you trained?" And I was like, "Oh god." And thousands, tens of thousands of hours, on the job, at home, money, whatnot. And he's like, "And where have you sung?" And I was like, "All around the world. I do whatever I want. All ar- I've sung whatever I want all around the world." And he's like, "Okay, I get on stage and I tell jokes about farts." He's like, "Every single comedian wishes they are doing what you're doing. Don't
Mhm.
do what I'm doing." That was
That's
a
good advice.
very good lesson that I learned. He was like, "Every comedian wants to be a rock star. You are a rock star. You've already made it. You don't have to tell jokes."
You got both, really, because you make me laugh, and I actually
Oh,
cre
stop.
I creeped a little bit.
Stop
Not me,
it.
thing,
Stop. Oh,
this whole
stop
thing. No,
it.
I creeped your singing videos as well. I sing on TikTok, not fun, not good, just for fun.
Me too.
Not like, well, you do it really well. But, I have to know my last this or that question for you. Are you living for the gram, or are you living in the moment? I have a feeling I know which way you're gonna go.
Oh, living in the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah, if I really, oh God, I'm going to out myself. I don't very much enjoy creating content when I have a job.
sure.
So if like, for example, last year, I had a dream job last year. Sorry, 2024. My job was perfect. every day I sang. I was in a 30-minute show. I got to sing really high. I was it was incredible. I had 0 desire to make content because at the end of the day, I'm a professional actor. I'm not an Instagrammer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not to say I still love to create, and when the spirit moves me, I love to do it, but it is a lot of pressure to do it every other day or every day.
Matt, thank you for being such a good sport and for
Of
keeping the
course.
chosen fam laughing. We had such a good time with you. Where can our family find you and support your next big adventure?
You can Zell me at no, I'm kidding. Um,
I love that so much.
uh, if you'd like to find me, so I go by Matt Actor Gordon. It's spelled exactly how it sounds. It's one word. And I'm on TikTok and Instagram. I don't post consistently, but I post often. Does that make sense?
Mm, sure.
Yeah, sometimes I'll post at 1 in the morning, and then other times it'll be, weeks. But there's a dearth of content to peruse.
Yes, there is. I could attest to it. It's all fantastic to be a part of, and we're so glad that
Thank
you
you.
are now a part of our chosen family. To
Thank you so
everyone
much.
else, of course, you're welcome. And to everyone else, thank you for listening. Stay loud, stay laughing, and stay hydrated. That's a constant reminder. And we will all chat soon. Bye bye.
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 This was Out Loud and Laughing.
We're available everywhere you get your podcasts: Spotify, Apple, YouTube, iHeart, or wherever.